S5225 Kunze Lane, Unit 2, Tax Key WAKT 14019970008. This would be a recommendation to the town board. Is the petitioner present in the audience this evening?
I believe he's left.
Okay,
That's all I can tell you. I don't know.
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, in the absence of the petitioner, is the pleasure to proceed with this item or not? Commissioner Miller says proceed. Is that the will of the group to proceed with this item or not? Planner Malarkey, you want to speak to it? Is that an advisable thing to do?
There may be questions. We can always table it if there are questions that are unanswered, and we can see if we can get through it without any questions for the petitioner.
Thoughts from any of the rest of you? Proceed or table?
I advise we table. I make a motion we table.
Okay, a motion has been made to table. Is there a second to table? Second. All right, motion has been made and seconded to table this agenda item. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, that's tabled. Next item is accessory building. The petitioner is Eric Larson, location S52W 3776 Glendale Road, tax key WAKT 13999999001. A recommendation to the town board. I presume the petitioner is present, or somebody like him to come up to the microphone. All right, Planner Malarkey, will you please introduce this item?
Sure, I'll give a brief introduction. The petitioner is requesting to construct a 36-foot by 48-foot accessory building that's 1,728 square feet to be used as a workshop and storage of personal items and vehicles. There's currently an 896 square foot accessory building already on the site. He's proposing to build this one directly in front, directly behind the existing building. The existing building will be removed after construction. The proposed accessory structure is to be compatible with the existing residence of 412 roof pitch, same siding material and color, which is 4-inch vinyl lap siding to match the existing residence. The petitioner has provided elevations of the proposed building, color samples of the proposed roof and siding, and then pictures of the existing residence for determination of compatibility. Waukesha, our code requires that any building over 600 square feet requires planning commission and town board approval. The petitioner is in compliance with the size of the building. Once the existing accessory structure would be removed, he would be in compliance with the number of buildings. He'd be left with 1. He's allowed up to 3. Would be in compliance with all setbacks, with all height regulations, and the plan commission just needs to determine if what's being proposed is compatible with the principal structure. I have a number of conditions here in case the plan commission should choose to recommend approval of the request. The standard conditions are here. We've also included a condition as normal for building this large for a deed restriction, noting that it will not be used for commercial purposes, residential purposes only. That the existing building will be raised within 30% or 30 days of occupancy. And then we also have a condition in here that that states that there would be a cash escrow agreement entered with the town in the sum of $5,000 to ensure timely removal of the existing 896 square foot accessory building, to ensure that it's removed within 30 days. Now, that's a suggested condition. The plan commission can review those and determine what's appropriate.
Okay, you are indeed Mr. Larson?
Yes.
Thank you, welcome. Did Planner Malarkey do a good job of outlining that? Would you like to add something?
He did a very good job. The only thing is, I want to put a steel roof on this thing, because I want the snow load to come off. I don't want to have the roof rake it. He had said that you may not go for that. You would want me to match shingles, which is what I have in my house. But I want a steel roof so that, because it's an accessory building, I don't want a snow load problem. Because I don't want to put gutters on it, I just want to like what I want.
That'll be an item to discuss here. Did you bring us any material samples or any physical material samples?
Well, not actual samples, no.
Okay,
But the steel roofing I wanted to use was basically, it would look like 16-inch pieces with the rib, 16-inch, you know. It's hidden fasteners, I guess is what you would call the system.
it's a standing seam.
Standing seam.
Yeah,
He has provided samples, he doesn't have a roof
I got
sample, but he
color
has color
samples.
samples in the application itself,
Okay,
that are in the packet.
okay, what's the pleasure of the plan commission?
Can we motion already?
Sure.
I make the motion that we approve with the carve-outs from the planner.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
And you're approving the metal roof?
Yes.
Who'd like that second? Kathy, you got your choice. It's either Rares or Flanagan. You got it, okay. Further discussion?
I guess one caveat, is the metal roof going to be the same color essentially as the house?
yeah. I'm gonna match the colors to the house.
That's fine.
Okay, further questions?
I have a question.
Go.
We've had a number of these buildings come, these steel buildings come up lately, and we'll probably be getting more and more. I think we should maybe revisit our guidelines with our outbuildings. Because we have denied some, and we have passed some, and I think there's gonna be hard feelings out by the people that have had their denied. And now we're letting another one may or may not go by at this point in time, but I think we need to revisit maybe adding something maybe over 3 acres and put metal on our building, or if they're confined in an area, but I really believe we need to revisit this and make a recommendation that we bring that up.
Okay. I guess I have one comment. You mentioned the snow load, and I understand that, but
Yeah.
that the roof framing would, to be code compliant, get a permit, it has to be designed to hold the snow load.
Yeah, this is, everybody likes to call it a pole barn. It's not gonna really technically be a pole barn. It'll be on a concrete floating slab, stick built, and there'll be 24 on centers for all the trusses. It's not gonna be like, a pole barn usually does a 9-foot on center with the poles. This is gonna be stick built. I mean, it's not, I mean, it would handle a little, but you know, if you get, I'm talking about if we get a blizzard and the snow just starts piling up on it, blizzard after blizzard. And it's happened before.
Mr. Chairman, go. Let's have Planner Malarkey first.
The only comment I was gonna make, to address the metal building, I haven't been the planner in the town for that long, but I have seen a couple of accessory buildings be denied for metal siding on the exterior of an accessory building. I think there's a distinction between a metal roof and metal siding on a building. And in fact, many residences being built today will put a metal roof on the actual residential structure, you know, not sided in metal, but roofed in metal, and that's pretty typical. And in fact, metal roof buildings are more expensive typically than an asphalt shingle roof building, and they last longer, et cetera. And if it's, I think if it's compatible with the color of the existing roof on the house, in my mind, it's not necessarily an issue. It may be different if it was sided in metal, because that's not necessarily a residential look. But a metal roof could be considered a residential roof as well, so.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your comment. I just wanted to bring that up. I totally agree with you. I thought maybe we may want to add that into our comments next time. I mean, everything is capital of, you know, of all the house materials, and obviously it's not, so obviously there's a flaw in our language, our verbiage, that's all.
I think your point is well taken on the inconsistency. The other thing I guess I would reiterate and ask, and this is apart from the moment from your request, but I really do think we should have people produce physical samples whenever possible. I mean, obviously the catchwords are it's gonna match and that type of thing. I think we need to ask people to do that going forward.
So,
Mr. Chairman, can I just make one comment on his behalf? The steel roof is not a roof.
You asked me a question, I'm gonna answer. Are you
I'm sorry.
affiliated with him at all?
He used to be my neighbor.
That's a pretty close stretch, thank you. I think we're not gonna do that tonight, okay?
I was just gonna comment on the steel roof makeup.
I understand that, but at the moment, I'm gonna decline
Okay?
and appreciate your willingness to do that. And for being a good neighbor, but we're gonna move on from
He's
there.
not my neighbor now.
There's a reason for this.
Bye, Bill. I don't know you.
so Chairman Fisher,
I lost my train of thought, but go ahead.
just to clarify that, so he has provided samples in the form of, obviously, pictures of the colors, pictures of the siding. So he's got pictures of the home. Are you saying then for every accessory building over 600 square feet, just so I'm clear, you'd like physical material samples brought in for siding and a roof?
That's just my point of view. I think that would be advisable. I mean, other people think that's overkill. That's okay with me. I'm just saying that's something I think we should think about.
Yeah, I'd like direction. I mean, I'll do whatever is the pleasure of the plan commission if we can have a consensus.
Very quickly, and we need to move on with this agenda item. Very quickly, does anybody like that? Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna just comment on the roof part of this barn stuff. I was on the Board of Appeals, and that became an issue years ago. A lady wanted to build a horse barn, and basically, it was a pole barn, but one of our members at that time opposed the metal roof. And at that point, all pole barns became, they were on an estate deal like that, or 3-acre estate, they had to have a shingle roof. And at that time, I was opposed to that myself. Him and I actually got into a discussion, if we can put it that way, about shingle roofs or metal roofs. And I have no opposition to metal roofs, and I think your point that today all roofs are metal is a good benchmark to use. I think it's a good thing to do, so I'd be all for. But I do agree with the clapboard siding on a residential pole barn. Start putting pole barn steel on that, it does detract from the neighborhood, so I think that's the direction I think we should go.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? I believe we've got a motion on the floor, which was to approve the request, including the approval of the metal roof on it with color to match existing shingles. I think we've got a motion and a second. If that's correct, all in favor, unless there's further discussion? Not all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Larson.
Thank you.
Very good, and finally, we're at the site plan of operation petitioner Robert Zeilhofer. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Location is S40W24040 Rockwood Way. Tax key WAKT 1381999-031. Recommendation to the town board. Mr. Zeilhofer, did we pronounce your name correctly or not?
It's close, it's Al.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, Planner Malarkey, you're back to bat.
Thank you. What's being proposed here is a site plan of operation to locate an auto repair shop on the subject property on Rockwood Way. The petitioner would occupy Suite B with an existing building, wouldn't require any site modifications at all or any signage at this time. He may come back later on for signage approval. The previous use of the suite was also for auto repair, and there's an existing vehicle lift within the suite itself. We could not find an existing site plan of operation for the site itself, so this would be a new one for it. The proposed plan of operation, again, is the use automobile repair business. Hours of operation are proposed at 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Maximum number of employees is 4. There'd be 1 company vehicle, which would be service/pickup truck. Parking would be 6 spaces designated for employees and a service truck behind the building, 4 customer spaces directly in front of the suite, and then up to 13 spaces for overload customer parking in the southeast corner of the lot and behind the building. As I mentioned, no modifications to the site plan. With the parking that's being proposed for the petitioner, that leaves about 25 to 30 spaces between suites A and C, the existing uses. They're about 7,000 square feet in gross floor area. It is my opinion that there's sufficient parking on the site to meet the requirements of all suites. Again, no signage proposed, and the property, or the proposed use is in compliance with the current zoning district, which is I-1 zoning. If the Plan Commission chooses to recommend approval of the request, I have listed, outlined a number of conditions, standard conditions, including the plan of operation as described.
Okay, anything from the petitioner?
I think you covered it all.
Okay, questions, comments from the Plan Commission?
Motion to approve with all the conditions.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Flanagan to approve, Commissioner Miller second. The request with all of the conditions that the planners outlined, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, it passes. Mrs. Hofer, thank you for enduring our rather lengthy meeting. We'll send you on your way. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, he's got town board.
Yes, the state of town.
These are all recommendations.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, we got one more meeting to go. You better hang around.
Okay.
Good point. Okay, we are,
I move to adjourn.
is there a second? Motion, second and a third to adjourn all in favor, give by saying aye. Aye, opposed, like sign. Okay, last meeting is town board meeting. We're ready to proceed. We'll do that. We can do this one. Okay, folks, we're going to move on and call the